Good morning, my friends. This is Marta, and welcome back at my YouTube studio. Today, I will be finishing off the chocolate box I started on my previous tutorial. I'm making, for those of you who haven't seen the previous part, I am taking a part in the chocolate box swap with a lovely girl, Monica. I will give you a link to her YouTube channel down below in the comment section. And if you would like to check her videos, she also makes up pretty things and lots of different things like album cards and other stuff like exploding box, so you can check her channel as well. And we both took a part in a challenge to swap with the chocolate boxes, and this challenge was over one of the most beautiful creative person I know, Asha Shulik, on her inspiration group, and she actually paired us, me and Monica, together so we could make a swap in between us. So I've already shown the parcel and the box I've received from Monica, and now I am I'm showing how I made my chocolate box for her. So in the previous part, I did one-to-one without the speed. I showed you the process of me thinking of trying to make the box which will fit the chocolate I have. Well, actually it's not a chocolate, it's the notepad, but Monica said to me before that she cannot have a chocolate, so I've decided I'm not gonna send her a chocolate if she cannot eat it. So I've looked for something similar, and I found this beautiful fridge notepad with a magnet on the back with this beautiful mermaid cat, and I just had to buy it. So I've decided to create my chocolate box to fit that exact notepad, and in the previous part I showed you how I did it. So now I am trying to figure it out, the placement of all the bits I prepare for the card. Because the notepad was in a blue color, I've decided to keep it in the pastel blue and pink color tone combination, and I'm trying to find all those little elements. I'm digging through my scraps just to find matching things, and I've got this pink piece of cardstock, which is like a Centra pearl pink color, and I used the spellbinder die to cut myself a little doily, and I will fit around this blue circle. The blue circle and those two blue borders on the side, they just come from this blue piece of paper I create for some other project, but I never use it. And I'm trying to add a little bit of the greenery to my card, and this green cardstock you see with the gold print on it, I created when I was making this I believe it was in Scrap 16 challenge. So I was making my own background, and I use a piece of the green background to cut my own leaves, and this was the leftover. So I thought, because of the color combinations, like the green and the gold, it will match here perfectly. So I cut myself a few leaves, which I will be adding to the chocolate box. I also used some foamiran flowers. I had made them before, and I've got two butterflies and those little white doily. This one was from the pack of doilies I bought in a Hobbycraft, I think. Check your craft stores, they definitely have a lots of those like packets of ready-made serviettes, and I really like to add them to my cards because they add some additional interest. Now I am trying to embellish the butterflies. I cut a couple butterflies with the memory box Isabella die, and now I am using a paint and some pearlescent glue to color them. This is my favorite technique, what I like to do, because that way I could match my butterflies perfectly with the projects I'm making, and once you add some color to them, they just looks beautifully, and I really like to do it that way. And once I will finish coloring the butterflies, I'm just adding the color to the edges. First I add this very pale mint teal color, and then I will be adding a blue pearlescent glue just on the edges of the butterfly wings. And once it's ready, I will add some Nuvo drops, but I will just make a little string in the middle on the butterfly just to create a butterfly body. I didn't manage to create my chocolate box on one go, so I just had to wait till for the evening. Once my baby went to sleep, I could, work on the rest of the box. I have those little elements ready. I am just decide to create a little sentiment bed for the inside portion of my chocolate box, and I have this blue piece of paper which I also cut the circle and those two borders for the front panel. But now I am just gonna be making this little shape I could glue inside the box. I found a lovely stamp from the Hampton Art, and it says believe in yourself and you will be unstoppable. And I think it's a very nice quote to add to any type of the card, and especially for like someone who is creating. We quite often we tend to underestimate ourselves. I did it myself for many years, and I know that we are always our hardest judge for all our artwork, and many times I was just like underestimating myself. So a little belief in our own abilities and talent and creativity, it just makes us much farther. So I like to add this quote to all my cards I'm making for friends and everyone who is like doing and creating something, because it's lifting your spirits. And honestly, if you start believing yourself in yourself a little bit more than you do now, you will start seeing magic happens. As like I could tell by myself, as soon as I've left my comfort zone and I start to appreciate myself a little bit more better with everything I'm doing, the more things happen to me, and there's a lot more things going on right now, but not everything I could tell you just now. I'm sure it will be revealed shortly. But as I'm saying, try to put a little bit more faith in what you're doing, and you will see all good things coming your way. Anyway, back to my card. I'm taking those panels and my roller tool. This is a sewing actually tool which creates those little punch holes, and I'm using a piece of a cork board just to underneath, and my ruler just to help me out to make a straight line. And that way I have this fake like sewing effect on my cards, and I really like to do it because it adds additional dimension and interest to the card, but it's not make them much more bulkier. I am using a piece of the clothing wadding. This is the material which is used to fill up your like a winter coats and things like that, and it's available in a few different thickness. And the one I have, it's not as bulky and it's perfect for gluing underneath the panels, because first of all it gives them a nice dimension, and secondly, what is quite important for me as well, it's not very heavy. So because it's very lightweight, it's not adding extra weight to the card. So that way, if I want to send someone a card with, and I need to fit in the 100 grams value, this is a perfect solution for me because it's very lightweight. I'm gluing my box together with the help of the double-sided tape. However, I also do add a little bit of the liquid glue as well, because one thing I can tell you from my experience is that the double-sided tape, it tends to dry out over the years. And if you're not gonna add any drop of the liquid glue, your box will start falling apart. It's not gonna be fall apart after a year or two. However, if you give someone a project and they will be keeping it for years, and after like 5 or 6 years, the double-sided tape may tend to dry out and it will fall apart. It's not necessarily it has to happen, it's just something I noticed because it's not long ago, I think it was last year maybe, or maybe even beginning of this year, I was cleaning up my studio and I found the box with all cards I've made like ages ago, and I've noticed that some of them I had for like 5-6 years. The panels which were glued on a double-sided tape, they start slightly lifting. So as soon as I noticed that, I've started using a liquid glue on top of a double-sided tape as well, just in case, to make everything that way I am 100% sure that if I'll give someone my card, it's not gonna fall apart after 5 or 10 years. So this is my tip as well, something I've noticed based on my own observation. If you making some projects for someone and it's gonna be a keepsake for them, I really recommend you to add a little bit of the liquid glue as well, so that way you have this 100% sure that it will stay as it is. I'm adding a piece of a ribbon because I want to have this little bow you can wrap your chocolate box, and that way it will be a nice closing of the box. I'm choosing the perfect shade of the pastel blue color, and I will cut two ends and slightly secure them with the help of the lighter, just to prevent my edges from getting ragged. I am attaching my elements with the hot glue gun, and I also decide to add this little golden frame around this blue circle. I want to do it just so I could enhance the circle and make it much more visible. Besides, I will be attaching the letter M for Monica on the front of that circle, so I thought the golden frame will be just matching there perfectly. I am trying to work on a perfect composition, and I'm taking all of the leaves and I slightly shape them in my fingers just to add them a little bit more of dimension. I have 3 Foamiran flowers, but I also have 2 flat ones, and those flat are coming from the Tattered Lace collection. They were on the DVDs to print out and they have matching dies to them. This is something I never seen before until I was actually given by a lovely crafting lady who is downsizing her craft room, and she's passing me some goodies. And I was over the moon once I received them because I really love those flowers. I will leave you a link if I'll find it. I'm not sure if you can still buy it, but it was just amazing present, and I am forever grateful to her. At first I'm trying to glue 2 butterflies, but eventually I will stick to one. And I'm also adding those pearls on the string, which are my latest forever love. I just love adding them to the card. I think they just add this special look to any projects because they're so lovely. And I'm just creating a little bow and will be trying to glue it underneath my flowers. I also have, on top of that, I also have 2 elements. They're both made from the paper clay, and I just fill the molds, the silicone mold I have for the sugar craft art, the one which is used for like a artist to embellish the cake in a bakeries or something like that. So I bought a couple of those molds, and I'm filling them with the air drying paper clay, and once it's dry, or maybe like even if it's still wet, I am slightly taking it out and put it on the non-stick matte sheet just to give it a proper drying time, and then that way I have this lovely ornamental embellishments for my card as well. I am sticking out the butterfly plus couple additional pearls, and then I will be using those Nouveau droplets, which are in the shade Morning Dew, and once they dry they create this lovely like a water effect, and this will be my chocolate box for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope, Monica, you will enjoy the chocolate box once you see it. Well, I know you did, because by the time I'm recording the voiceover, you already received the parcel. However, I just want to say thank you so much for a lovely gift. I really appreciate all the efforts you made to create the chocolate box, the beautiful chocolate box you sent me, plus all these goodies. I really love them. And to everyone, thank you so much for being here with me today, for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you will create your chocolate box yourself. And if you do, please leave me a comment with some link to your social media accounts or your YouTube channel if you're creating videos as well. I will be honored to see your creation, and I really love to see what you will came up with, like your chocolate boxes. Thank you once again. I wish everyone a wonderful Sunday. Stay blessed, Marta.